Right, Denise, welcome to the Love Seat.
Thank you.
So again, we've not met, we've had a few little chats on Instagram. So tell me a little bit about your hair.
As you can see, it's very fine and very flat and very straight.
Right.
Doesn't ever really hold a style. Like if I curl it, it tends to drop. It separates very easily into sort of rat's tails.
Right.
So I always struggle with styling it.
Okay, and when you do style it, what do you do?
On a day-to-day basis, I just literally tip my head upside down and blow dry it.
Right.
And then I end up probably just putting it up.
Right.
But if I was going out, I would use obviously curling hot brush or tongs and try and get some volume. But then it always tends to.
And when you style your hair, what do you normally use, like shampoo wise?
A sulfate-free one.
Okay.
I have tried ones that add volume, and I always find that it ends up making my hair feel really
like build up.
Just not very nice, full of product.
Yeah.
And that always feels worse.
Yes.
So,
I hate products. Well, I do, obviously I use shampoos and conditioners, but I don't love products, the feeling of them.
I feel it makes my hair even more weighing it down, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And yes, I'll use like a blow dry mousse or a serum, but I've just really struggled.
Okay.
So that's why I've come.
And I'll tell you what I feel and see in your hair first. You do have a very silky hair, so the likelihood of you ever having big dolly parts in hair is probably going to be slim.
Yes.
But I definitely think there are things that we can do to really help you. Now, when you shampoo your hair, do you find your hair dries very quickly, or do you find you need to really blast it to get the moisture out?
No, it would dry quite quickly.
It dries quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first good sign. Now, the second thing that I see is, so I can see your hair here is very glossy, and then through here it loses the gloss.
Where?
Now this is also, as you can see, it almost becomes a little bit static, which to me says you lack in moisture.
Right.
So part of the thing that makes your hair hold shape is moisture. So on finer hair, a lot of my clients with finer hair will actually stay away from moisture because they're scared it's going to weigh their hair down. But actually you need moisture to make the hair hold, because if your hair goes dry, so if you think about a natural hair, left to dry naturally with no heat, it's got 97% protein and about 3% moisture. So the moisture percentage is actually very little in the hair. If you then apply heat, curling tongs, all of those things, it really eliminates a lot of that moisture, which then prevents your hair from holding shape. So what we want to do is make sure that we get your hair as much moisture in there. And I'm sure sometimes you'll find days when your hair holds the best is the days when you've actually done the minimum to it. I sometimes find my own hair, I'll go out and people say, oh God, your hair looks amazing. And I literally had no time, quickly done it. And it's because I've not overkilled it with too much heat tools.
Yeah.
And retain the moisture. Okay, so we can definitely work on that. I would probably say from our range, what I would definitely say for you, the hair and scalp elixir will be a game changer.
Okay.
Because what that could do is you put it on dry hair, onto the scalp and all over the hair. And it's a moisture protein balance treatment. First of its kind for scalp and hair, and you can sleep with it in, and it won't weigh your hair down. It will give you loads of volume, but it will replenish all your moisture.
Okay.
So you'll feel at the beginning your hair will just soak it in.
Can I ask, because my hair does get greasy easily.
Still use it.
So the next day, so let's say today I've had a marvellous blow dry by you, wake up the next morning and my hair will look not good again.
So when did you shampoo your hair last?
I did it this morning.
This morning. And when you look at your hair now, do you feel there's any grease on it?
No, but certainly by tomorrow morning it will be all not. I feel like I should wash it again.
Right.
But what I tend to do is not wash it, just stick it up.
Right.
Because I don't want to wash it every day.
Yes.
I don't want to get into that cycle.
So what I find with a lot of people with darker hair, because darker hair reflects actually a lot of light, a lot of times you think there's oil, but it's not, because of the reflection of light. So in order for me to tell you that, I will need to actually see the hair, because at the moment, I don't think there is any, I can't see any.
No.
But tomorrow morning, there could be.
Yeah.
You know, some of us have hair, I'm fortunate, I can wash my hair once in 5 days, and actually, you know, I washed it on Sunday and it still looks like this today. where some people just require more washing. And you'll probably find it will be worse in winter times because it's central heating, and central heating, our whole body just behaves differently to the central heating. I don't mind you shampooing regularly as long as you don't use too much heat on the hair, because heat and silicone are the two things that we want to eliminate completely out of your hair diet. So if you shampoo and you leave it to dry naturally or upside down, blast it like that, not a problem. But if you're going to be spending time blow drying, hot brushing and all of that,
which I don't tend to on a day-to-day, but only more when I'm going out of a weekend. And then my other thing is like where it really sort of just separates easily here. I think maybe it's because of the hairstyle. I maybe need to look at something different where it's not going to be so constantly going into sort of separation.
So part of the reason why that's happening is whoever's cut your hair before has given you something that in the hairdressing world is called square layering. They've done the haircut and then they pick this up and they cut it there and then they let it drop, and you can see. But where that hair drop is where it then forces the hair to kick out, but also where it sits in the nape wants to kick out, and that's part of the reason why it separates as well. Yeah,
I mean, I'm always searching for the right haircut for my hair in terms of being fine, dead straight, and obviously my age now. And you know, in the past I've had a fringe, and now I'm thinking, obviously, I don't know whether, because obviously with fine hair it's going to stick to my forehead. So you know, I need to sort of have a haircut that moving forward in this time of my life, menopause and everything, is going to work.
Yes. So how do you feel about the length of the hair at the moment?
I'm happy to have some cut off. I don't want to go like super short.
No Judy Dench.
No. I would like to be able to pull it back even if it's a tiny bit.
Okay.
Just so that I can walk the dog and not have it all, you know, forward. So I'm open.
Right. Okay.
I don't want to go like drastic, but you know, I'm open to having a fair bit if that's what's needed.
You see, so what I have in mind, I don't know yet if you'll be able to put it up, but we can discuss that in a second. So the first thing that I see with you is you've got amazing eyes. So I would want to go, and that would be my first point of call. How do we make those better? Now, I don't think you need a fringe, but I definitely think something softer to there would work very well. And I actually think something in the lines of that would work. If we take that off, it will just itsy bitsy make it, but the fringe won't. But I think the fringe as it is there doesn't come in there anyway. And I can definitely envision it. So when I look at your face, so you are quite a small face. So what we want to do is we want to enhance the volume. And if we bring that up to about, I would say about there, but actually give you a lot more shape and layering through that. What I envision you to have is hair that's, number one, easy, and number two, which should flow. Okay. It shouldn't be too restrictive, because on finer hair, unless you're going to wear straight A-line, like straight bob, with finer hair, you want to be able to look like you can walk through the wind and still come out the other side and look good. Because if you try and control it too much, it will be difficult for you to do. I'm just going to quickly stop. Daniel, would you be able to blow dry clear upstairs, please? Because I'm just filming here. Sorry. So,
are you able to sort of show me the idea of what kind of hair style?
No, that would be
a
good question.
But so you're talking sort of.
I would say it needs to be above the shoulder, where it doesn't do that anymore. Because with that side thing, it's the first thing that ages people. I don't mind flicks if we blow dry it, but once it sits there, it's the instant aging. So what we want to do is we want to get that sitting just about there, soften the nape, slightly elevated through there, and then the fringe actually not much shorter than that, because once we've cut it will sit through there. But there will be layers in your hair, because your hair actually, people with fine hair stay away from layers.
Well, that's what I've always been led to believe. Yes. Do not have layers, because layers is going to take weight out of my hair.
So that is true. when it's done wrong. So for example, the reason why the hair is flicking is because the layers have taken weight out of the hair. What we do is we build the layers from the bottom up. So you're never going to have short layers, and it's all going to create the volume through here, rather than having that disconnection like I showed you through that, which will give you a lot more freedom and movement to do with that, work with the hair.
And in terms of, sorry, lots of questions.
Yeah, please ask away.
And in terms of me styling it, so I would just blow
Head
dry.
upside down.
Okay. Would I be needing to use a brush to bring it under and all that?
I don't know yet, but my gut feeling is you will need to blow dry your hair here and nowhere else.
Okay.
That's where I'm aiming to get to. You will need product. When you're on fine hair, you don't need to use product that makes it stiff or sticky. But for volume, you will need some form of product.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's finding the right products.
Yes. And I've got something in mind that we're going to use in your today, which I think I use it every day, and I love it. And it's we can use it. You can actually smother the hair in it, and it's still not greasy and sticky. So it's on fine hair, it works very, very well. So that, and then color-wise, tell me.
I've always, because I am sort of relatively dark haired, but obviously, yes, I've got this coming through now, and my hair does go brassy in the sun.
So how do you feel about the ends of it? Do you mind the brassiness?
I don't mind it, but obviously I've got this coming through now. I'm open to.
So I actually think when I look at you, you are, I see a lot of women in the love seat, and you are one of the few where your colouring actually works very well.
That's good to know.
I like the fact that you're dark, because what it does, it brings out the blue in the eyes. I think for me, I don't mind that colour, because I don't mind warmth. I think there's too much of it. And when you put too much, so when we look at your skin tone, if you are slightly more cooler, like that, all of a sudden the skin tone becomes golden. Now I know you put blush on and foundation and stuff like that, but once you put that on the skin tone where you are more of a winter type person, that is too warm on the skin tone. So what I want to do is do your roots. I actually don't think you need to do, I probably wouldn't even do all your roots, because I think your natural colour is actually a very good colour.
I mean, yes, I've got this coming through now, which I need to sort of deal with and work with.
Unless you want to keep them. Me, I'm not for grey
really.
hair. We're going to kill it.
I don't really want to keep the grey.
Me neither. So what I will do is we're going to go in with a demi-permanent colour and just soften those bits out. You don't need any colour on the roots there, because your root colour is actually very, very good. And then we're going to go in again with another demi-permanent colour in between and do panel colouring and cool some of that down. So some of it will be left out, and some of it will be in, and you'll actually look like you've been highlighted. But colour-wise, if you don't mind asking, how old are you?
56.
Okay. So for 56, to have white hair there, and only there, is you are in the 0.00005% of people who sit in my chair. So I think, while we have colour that's natural and looking good, let's do that. If in summertime, if you want to come in and we do a little bit of balayage through here, a little bit more blonde, I can definitely see that work as well.
In the summer, I do like to give it a little bit of a
and that will also help you with volume. Because I always encourage clients to do some form of highlight, because with a tint, you expand your hair colour by 11%. You expand your follicle by 11%, cuticle by 11%, but if you put a lift in, you can expand it by 17%.
Right.
So what that does, will instantly give you more body and lift in your hair, and it also gives the hair a little bit of a grit. So if it's too silky, this will roughen up a bit and actually provide more volume. But
okay,
I think we are in for a fun time. Right, let's get cracking.
Thank you.